Well, men of Phillip Street Chapel and Headley Park, this is a message for you. 3 weeks from today, we are having our joint men's conference, April the 20th, Saturday, April the 20th, 8:30 start, all done by 1. And it's going to be an amazing day of teaching and fellowship, times of praising our God and learning from his word, and also getting to know one another, hopefully at a deeper level across both church fellowships. We've lined up an action-packed program. We're going to start with a bacon sandwich at 8:30, and then we've got an amazing speaker for the day who's going to do 3 different sessions with us. His name is Paul Mallard. I'm a massive fan. Here's my favorite of his books, Invest Your Suffering. I also love Learning to Lament, his recent one. And on my honeymoon to Susan, I read this one, Invest Your Disappointments, which got me into big trouble. So I love Paul. He helped train me. He's one of the best speakers in the country, and he is coming to our conference as our main speaker, looking at real faith in the real world. And Paul's well qualified to speak on this. He's a man who's suffered more than many people I've known. His wife, Edry, who's coming for the weekend with him, suffers from multiple sclerosis and has been very, very poorly for decades. And he's lived that experience, but he's also suffered in different ways in the older generation. He's lost both his parents. His mum had dementia before she died, and he learned lessons through that. And then in the younger generation, one of his grandchildren sadly was born with a really significant life-limiting condition. And Paul's thought deeply about suffering and about disappointment, and about how we express that to God. And so we've asked him to come and read our men's day on how do we deal with those things that drag us down as men? How do we respond with faith when life is really tough? And whether you're going through a season that's straightforward and you're coasting, or whether you're in the heat of the battle right now, this will be a day that will help you. We're also going to run a seminar on escaping from sin. What does real freedom look like from sin? I was hoping my brother was going to take that, but he can't now make the day. We'll find an alternative speaker, or you'll be lumbered with me. But either way, I'm looking forward to exploring that and thinking, what does freedom from sin look like? So the program, the teaching program looks great. And then around that, we've got the bacon sandwich to start, coffees and cakes all the way through. And if you do want to stay in the afternoon and just hang out with some of the other guys, well, then there'll be an optional afternoon program. One question I've been asked is, Neil, are you ripping us off? 20 quid for a full price ticket seems steep. Well, let me address that head on. No, we're not ripping you off. We expect to make a loss on this particular event. And the reason is because we pay our speakers. I mean, if I speak, you won't have to pay me, so I mean, that'll be fine. But our other speakers, we pay properly. We pay their travel. And in Paul's case, with Edry coming with him, we've had to book a hotel room, which is adapted for her needs. And so all of those things add into the expense. So we're planning on making a loss this year. If you can't pay the £20, there's a concessional price. If you can't pay the concessional price, which I think is 10 quid, well, then pay what you can or don't pay at all. I would rather you were there, much rather than you worried about the money. So if that's an issue, just let that pass you by. Come as just part of the fellowship. We would love to have you there. But if you can contribute, that's just going to help to cover some of the costs of this event. And then we're picking up the tab for the Sunday out of general church funds, as well as some of the costs of the hotel. So that's the plan. Hopefully that makes sense. If you've got questions on that, ask me. But the big thing is this: 8:30 on the 20th of April, I want to see you. I want you to be there, and I want you to come ready to be blessed and be a blessing to others. Be in prayer for that day. And let's pray the Lord really blesses us as men as we give up those hours between 8:30 and 1 and spend time thinking about what it means to be real men with real faith in the real world.